Alright, thanks to how fucked up the cost is, 650, and my choice of supports are very small, we only get to do one video for supports today. Hooray! It's the RF Gelgoog. It used to be the strongest support in the cost, now it's not. The Gelgoog has a high pedigree for what it's doing. It is a suit that has decent damage. It has a dodge roll, it has 2 dodge rolls. It also has double tackle, something that people don't really take note of. Pursuit ranged aux and pursuit melee aux, along with anti-air ranged aux. This doesn't come up too often, but it's technically really good at killing its rival, the G-Kid and Magna, while it's flying. And it has counter boost. So you can, if you're really good at using your double tackled and they just don't know that you do, you can get some pretty strong volleys going at the same time. For the RF Gelgoog, I have a armor expansion on the suit, simply because... Oh, is this over? Oh, it's fine, I don't care. Simply because you're very incentivized to have reload and have beam focus on this suit, so that you can use the beam launcher more often and get your missiles online more often, as well as your... honestly, everything. Everything needs attention. The only problem the Gelgoog has is uptime on its weapons and the fact that it has to charge its heavy stagger. But with these parts and this skill, you're bulky and you have the ability to make sure you're present in the fight more often. So I would recommend that if you're going for an expansion skill, you still have time to get a Aux Armor build going on for it. The RF Gelgoog, along with its loaded skill set, I believe it has melee priority 2. Yep, it does. It's basically just a walking yellow general. And because of that, you're going to be on the front line. You're going to be with your generals. So, and that might seem like you're putting yourself in danger, but in reality, being in the front with your generals means that they're closer to you and more able to they're more able to protect you from things like the Vargil and any of their heavy attack bots. And yeah, this suit is pretty bulky regardless, and it has the resist move level 2, which means when it dodges, it takes 50% less damage as opposed to just taking all of the damage. So it will save your life. The suit is more... you should be braver with the suit than you think. Let's talk about the weapons. The beam rifle is a instant stagger. It does 25%, and when you charge it, all these shots instant stagger, and it hits for 35. This is your everything. This will stun anything that has only MA1. So it's going to kill a ton of generals on the cost, like the Sleeves Doga. Stop it in its complete tracks. If that doesn't do it and it has the enemy has damage control or some other thing, you can chain together a beam rifle with the Gelgoog arm missiles. These do 2 each. These two, sorry, 50% each for both of them, for 2 of them. So you can do something like this in quick succession, and that should stop things like the Psycho Gundam, the Full Armor Ground Zeta when it's in I field, raids like the Vargil. Even the Cubulate will get stopped by this because you're going to 205. If you have the foresight and you have the frame advantage, this will stop the enemy in its tracks. So this is your everything. This is how you start most conflicts. If this doesn't do the job, then use your missile launcher. The missile launcher is also the weapon you use to end the combo. If you want to fit in a weapon before you do for another downswing. Most times this is not going to be needed, but that is your throwaway weapon. Let's talk about the beam launcher. The beam launcher has a very, very long focusing time of 4.5 seconds, which we have reduced by about 1 second. So we're at 3.5 now. This is a heavy stagger. It doesn't do a ton of damage on its own, but this is a heavy stagger. It's going to stop anything in the cause except for the fail knot. It'll stop the Full Armor Ground Zeta, even though it has I field. It'll stop the Psycho Gundam, even though it has damage control 2. It'll shoot anything out of the air, even if they have fall control. This is also how you stop everything in its tracks. So while you start with your beam launcher, go to your beam rifle, grenade launcher, and you got yourself a combo right there, mister. You should never worry about the beam launcher overheating because it has a 95% heat rate. And by the time it's ready again, and you charge it all the way back up, you should be able to keep its heat rate up to par. And having the ability to charge it really fast is really good. All right. We've talked about all the weapons. The stagger accumulation value doesn't matter for the beam launcher because it is a heavy stagger. For those at home, it's 10% if you're fighting a fail knot. Let's talk about its beam sabers and its naginata. The saber has a 150 downswing, 75-75, and it has a very wide swing. The beam saber is a standard Gelgoog beam saber. The Gelgoog has 2-hit melee combo and 2 melee weapons. So it's very strong, it's very good at contending with the generals in its cost. Something like the beam rifle into downswing, downswing, downswing. You get a triple downswing as a support, it's pretty crazy.
In battle, you'll find that coordinating with your allies is more important than any one individual's technique.
Let's talk about combos real quick and we'll get this done, because the RF Gelgoog is a very simple suit. Always start your engagement with the beam launcher if you can. If you're too far from the enemy to do a melee combo, this is what you do. Beam launcher, beam rifle charge, that should re-stagger, and then you pepper them with the grenade launcher afterwards. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is that, and go back to charging your rifle again, just to do it one more time. You can, just like how we talked about with the Zuda, you can chain out of a heavy. You just have to wait for the heavy to quote-unquote wear off. Obviously, the suit can dodge out of that, or they can do maneuver armor out of that, but for most intensive purposes, that is technically a chain, and you should be able to leverage that really well because the charge time of the beam rifle lends itself in such a way that it's ready in time for that chain to occur. And if they dodge roll out of it, or they maneuver armor away from it, more power to you. You got them to do something, you got them to react, which is good. If you are close enough and you're like peeking against somebody and you're trying to, and you have the right hand advantage, I mean, there you go, baby. That's how it's done, you know? And if you don't have the beam launcher ready in time, charge beam rifle. Shit like that. You can do that. The RF Gelgoog is a very simple support that has really powerful weapons and the capability of doing a lot of damage as long as you're willing to make sure you utilize your melee weapons. The uptime on this suit is really bad if you don't find in the time to stay with your generals, be part of the mob, and do those melee chains. You don't have offense system, but not a lot of generals do. It doesn't mean you can be afraid of doing what you need to do. And of course, we have 2 tackles. When push comes to shove, you can stall with this skill if you need to, or if you get lucky, or you just goaded and you outsmart the opponent, you can get counter boost. Counter boost, like we've talked about before, makes your suit more tanky. You take 20% less shooting damage, you take 15% less melee damage, your walking speed goes up by 5 units, and your melee and your range damage goes up by 50%. And the best part is, your launcher's time is cut in half. So this becomes a legitimate option to use in battle. Just like, it's almost like a Gundam beam rifle when you're in counter boost. Did you see that? Did you see the focus on the beam rifle just now? That's crazy. Anyway, great suit. Build it to last, stay up front with your generals, and you'll be able to get a lot more done than you think. Through sheer typing advantage alone, you should be able to win a head-to-head against other suits in this 4v4 cost.